All right, welcome back everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that is really foundational and perhaps, dare I say, absolutely key for anyone in the design field. Data and research methods in design. Now, I know, it might sound a little dry at first, but stick with me. It's like the engine that drives our creativity. Think about it. Without good data, we're just throwing darts in the dark, you know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you mean. Like when you try to put together IKEA furniture without reading the instructions, total chaos, right?
Exactly. It's exactly like that. Research really provides the blueprint. So whether we're talking about pre-design or post-design services, you're building the foundation that supports everything else. Research goes beyond aesthetics. It's about making informed decisions. You gather evidence so that every choice you make is intentional.
Wow. So, can you tell me a bit about the different methods you use? Like, how does one even start to gather that evidence?
Great question. There are various methods of data collection, and it can be as simple as surveys, focus groups, walkthroughs, or even stakeholder meetings. Each method has its own level of formality based on what your project aims to achieve. For example, if you're working on a community park redesign, a focus group might help you get insights directly from the users, whereas a stakeholder meeting would be more formal for decision makers.
So it's kind of like asking a bunch of kids how to make their playground more fun, right?
Absolutely. Kids might say they want a pirate ship or a dragon slide, while the adults might want to ensure that it's safe and compliant with codes. Now, observation is also key. When designers walk through existing facilities, it's like, let's use an analogy here, like being a detective. You're looking for clues to understanding how spaces are used, noting wear and tear, traffic patterns.
Oh, wow. So you're like Sherlock Holmes of design, right?
Chuckles. Exactly. You can uncover insights that might not come up in interviews. And speaking of interviews, they must be well-planned and purposeful. It's crucial to identify who you're talking to. Sometimes it's the clients, sometimes it's the end users, and you might even want to include nonverbal clues, which can be very revealing.
So like, if someone is fidgeting during the interview, does that mean they're uncomfortable with the design?
Spot on. Nonverbal communication speaks volumes. Like someone crossing their arms might suggest defensiveness or skepticism. Then we have surveys and questionnaires, which are excellent for gathering quantitative data from larger groups. Imagine sending out a survey about furniture styles to, like, thousands of potential users.
That's like a treasure trove of information.
Exactly, and field surveys help us assess existing conditions too. It's about getting that full picture, like cataloging existing furniture and fixtures so you know what you're working with. You wouldn't want to recommend a sleek modern desk if the existing space has a rustic vibe, right?
Yeah. That would be like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Disaster.
Precisely. Benchmarking is another vital tool. It means comparing your design strategies to industry standards. Think of it as looking at the best practices of others before you take your leap. And then, we have case studies and precedent studies that can truly inform your decisions based on prior successful designs.
So it's like looking at a recipe before cooking so you know what works and what doesn't.
Exactly. And when it comes to data analytics, we're talking about thoroughly examining those data sets to derive actionable insights. Predictive analytics can highlight trends, like, you'd notice, a rising interest in sustainable materials, for example.
Whoa, that's kind of like being a fortune teller for designs.
Right? And communication of those findings must be clear and transparent. I mean, if you create intricate charts and infographics, you want everyone to understand what they're looking at. It's like visual storytelling.
Oh, I love that. So, visuals help make complicated stuff easier to digest.
You got it. And programming? It's all about gathering and analyzing client and user needs, understanding the structural foundation of the project. Without knowing what your client really needs, you might as well be building a house of cards.
So it really all cycles back to listening, huh?
Absolutely. Identifying client requirements and conducting the research is key. It's about ensuring that every aspect is factored in, so you end up with a design that not only looks good, but meets all functional goals as well.
Wow. This feels like a whole art form in itself, doesn't it?
It truly is. It's like the intersection of science and art. Every decision we make is ultimately supported by data, which gives our creativity the structure it needs to thrive. And that, my friend, is how we turn visions into reality.
That's so inspiring. I can't wait to dive deeper into this.